Alright, you guys, so I'm going to do a quick demo for you about the 2 ways you can do your shoe value project. If you haven't watched my introductory video for that, go watch that first, and then this video will make more sense to you. Alright, so I have a printout of a shoe right here. I was going to draw you guys one, but it wasn't showing up very well on my screen, so I just printed one out, just an outline of a shoe. But what you're going to do is you're going to have your shoe that you pick from your closet. So pick out your favorite shoe or whatever shoe you want to draw. Draw it to the best of your ability on your paper. So I would just do it lightly in pencil. I know this is a printout. Please don't just print out a picture. I do want to see you draw your own shoe. I was going to do that myself, but again, it just wouldn't show up that well. So here we have this shoe right here. And then the first method that I was going to show you guys to make this project is if you don't have a straight edge of any kind, I'm going to use a ruler. You can use pretty much anything, the side of a folder, another piece of paper to make a straight line. I'm going to use a ruler though. So you're going to take your shoe, and then on top of your shoe, you can either grab a marker like this, a Sharpie, or I'm fine with you just doing it in pencil too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this drawing up into several sections. So to do that, I'm just going to start drawing lines from one end of my paper to the other end. And you can either draw them to the other end like that, like I'll do another one like that. I'll do one right here. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Maybe I want another section right here. Maybe this section I feel like is too big. You don't want any too big of a section. So like if this is a lot of shoe over here, I'd probably cut that part in half. I'd probably do like a line going this way. And then that looks pretty good to me. I might do one more going this way. And if you don't want to do them all the way through the paper, I'm fine with you also making little sections. So if you want to make like a little section right here, you can do that. You know, if you want to do another one right here, you can do that. All right, so let's say that you feel like this is a good stopping point, that you have enough sections on your paper. What you're gonna do at this point is, if you haven't seen my examples, again, please go view the other video first. But you're gonna have some sections done in just your pencil, where we're practicing our shading with our pencil, and then other sections you'll do in color, okay? So let's say I pick this section right here to do graphite in. So maybe I would start shading with my pencil. You can use the Q-tip trick on this. That I mentioned when I was doing the value scale video. If you want to get a Q-tip and kind of start blending out your graphite using a Q-tip, you can also use a tissue, kind of crumpled up if you want to, and that way you can go over your graphite and it'll be nice and smooth. But make sure when you're shading, you want dark areas and light areas. So go back and look at your value scale. You want to make sure that all 5 values that you made on that value scale are represented in this picture. So basically, you don't want to make the whole thing super dark, and you don't want to make it too light either. You kind of want to have a good balance. So let's say I get this whole section done. I kind of do these, I get these, maybe I do these circles super dark since those on Converse are super dark. Maybe this part I make super light. Maybe this part I make super dark. You're obviously gonna take your time more than this, but I just wanna show you how many different values I'm wanting to see. So I'm wanting to see dark, medium, and light areas. Again, you all remember my pet peeve, don't switch your coloring direction mid-coloring. So I picked this way for this section, so I'm gonna keep coloring this way. But you can see like I went a different way up here. That's fine. As long as within that little section, it goes all the same way, that's fine with me. All right, so let's say I get this whole section colored in right here. I'm gonna grab some markers. I think in the slideshow I say colored pencils and crayons, but if you have markers and you don't have colored pencils or crayons, I'm fine with you using markers. So I'm gonna grab whatever Sharpie I have here on my desk. All right, so I'm gonna say this section's gonna be graphite. Let's say I'm gonna do this section in color. You don't really want two sections touching that are the same. It's probably gonna happen, but you know what I mean. If you can alternate it, go ahead and alternate it. And you can draw any shoe you want, y'all. Just because I drew a Converse, you can draw any kind of shoe you want. Flip-flops, high heel, you know, Jordans, sandals. It does not matter. Any kind of shoe, y'all. So I'm just taking my marker and I'm coloring this part in. Kind of quickly, sorry. And then make sure that you're using a lot of different colors. If your shoe's brown and you don't want to color it brown or black, like this Converse, for example, you can switch it up. Go wild with your colors. This project really does work out best with wild and crazy colors. So I would just start filling this section in with crazy colors. So in between this black line right here and this black line right here, that's gonna be my colored section. So maybe I'll do pink, more down here. And it's gonna end up looking kind of like a stained glass effect, but you're gonna be able to practice your shading and your coloring all in one picture. And your observation drawing as well. So here's my example for the first options, okay? So this one is option number 1, all right? Option number 1, you break it up into little sections and alternate between colored sections and graphite sections, okay? And then option number 2, so I have the same shoe. So if you don't like that way that I just showed you, if you for some reason just don't like the way that looks, you don't want your drawing to look like that, I'm fine with you doing it this other way as well. And either one is fine with me. It's pretty much the same kind of concept where I'm looking at the same skill set. It's just a different type of drawing. So draw your shoe out. Again, don't print it out like I did. Draw your shoe and then take a ruler or a straight edge, and in the middle of your shoe, I'm just gonna, hopefully you'll measure yours out and take a little more time, but I'm going to draw a square or like a rectangle shape. So I'm just gonna try to make this as straight as I can. I'm really sorry if it's not perfect. So I kind of like it right there. Kind of like that. Yeah, so I kind of got a big square in the middle of my shoe, and then I've got 2 sections out here. What I would do is you're going to take your pencil. You're going to use your pencil to shade this part of the shoe and this part of the shoe. So again, making sure you're using all your values. It's not too dark, it's not too light. You're using all of them. So get this part done in graphite and this part over here. Everything outside of the square pretty much. And then this part inside the square, you're going to go crazy with your colors. So get out your colors, start coloring inside the square, all in here. That includes this part, y'all. I'm actually glad I mentioned that. On both papers, there should be no part on your paper that is not colored with either pencil or marker or colored pencil or something. Even these blank parts up here, sorry, I'm going to switch back to my other drawing. Even these blank parts up here, you can go crazy. Like if you want to make this your colorful section, you can draw designs up here if you want to kind of switch it up. You know, I'll do some polka dots and some zigzags. You can do some designs, but I really want you to work on filling up your whole paper, okay? So in this one, I'm going to go back to this other one. Option number 2, let me get my sign. All right, so this one's called option number 2. In option number 2, everything inside the square, including your background, you can put patterns back here, whatever you want. Everything back here also, everything needs to be colored in. Color inside the square, graphite outside the square. All right, so there you have it. Let me see if I can back up my phone so you can see both of them. So there's your 2 options right there. It does not matter to me which option you do. It's completely your artistic decision. If you have any questions, just feel free to email me. This one's usually a pretty fun one, so I'm hoping everybody gets to look at each other's at some point. Again, this is due on Friday. All right, so y'all have fun with it, and please email me if you have any questions.